and take the call from the captain to introduce her into the attack, trying to kick some wickets, but starts off with a wide.
Yeah, Tino Sara, a player with the Soroti City cricket club women's team. She was part of the team that won the FCA Women's T20 League. The much needed breakthrough there for her side. Good work there. But there is even action in the Uganda Cricket Association Men's Domestic League. The 50 over league is happening, and Avojo Cricket Club are seeking redemption, having lost to Siren Lions last Sunday. They have made a trip to Ginger, where they are taking on Jack, Ginger Association of Cricket Clubs. Of course, the Association of Cricket Clubs beat Wanderers in their previous encounter. In other scores from the other grounds, Olida versus Masindi, 17 for no loss after 2.1 overs. Olida batting first. Mount St. Henry's versus Gayaza, 12 for 1 after 3 overs. Mount St. Henry's batting first. Ginger SS is taking on Iganga Secondary School. This was actually the final in the Nile region, where Ginger SS managed to beat Iganga SS. Of course, Iganga SS has never beaten Ginger SS in the finals. That should have been 2023. And that year, Iganga SS went to the Nationals as champions. But in that game, Ginger SS is batting first, and 16 for 1 is the score. Sacred Hearts is taking on Gulu High in the Northern Cricket Hub Derby. I tell you, Jeff, there is a baptism of fire. 54 for 2 after 9 overs. Sacred Hearts batting first. The girls should be swinging at whatever they are seeing. And batting now is Amono Rita with the 20 of 29. And Hanif Noreen there for Sacred Hearts with 7 of 8.
Yes, Ivan, the girls are showing great talent across the grounds, and would also love to see St. James up the tempo. Currently, the score is 11 for 1, but 9 of the runs are extras. Love to see the batters nudge the ball around, look for the gaps, and score some runs for the team.
Yeah, the new batter who's just walked in to replace Kevin is Kwaga Priscilla. She tries to go for it, but doesn't patch it away. Yeah, Sarah knows that you just need to flight it a bit, give them an appetizer, and see what comes your way. Another wide down the leg. She started off her over with that wide falling down the leg. And now that is her second wide. Should be maybe the way she's controlling her ball.
Ivan, it will be interesting to see how the bowlers control the areas they hit. You don't know how much turn you'd get off such a surface. Sometimes the spin could be erratic, sometimes no turn at all. The bounce unpredictable. So bowlers have to be on top of their games to get the right outcomes for the teams. Tentative appeal there for LB, but the bowler was also not sure, just looked at the umpire.
Maybe she had judged it, nor out even before she made the appeal. And that will mark the end of the fifth over here at Gulu High School ground. 13-1 is the score. Kasone, Zahara, and Kwaga Priscilla in there. Kasone Zahara with no runs in her name after facing 12 deliveries. There is a subsequent bowling change there. And to replace Alio Rita will be the captain for herself, Ariago Michelle from the side of the school. Of course, Ariago Michelle, part of that team that played in the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers last year. The beautiful city of Kigali, very, very well known for her experience and slow off spins. She was also part of the team that won the UCA Women's Domestic Women's T20 League last year with Soroti City, as Soroti City Cricket Club women overcame Olida Cricket Club. Good proceedings there from her already. 2 dot balls in the over as she comes to get another 3rd dot ball.
Looked like it came off the bat, but umpire calls leg buys. Maybe it was off the hands. Yes, Ivan, as I was saying, bowlers have to be on top of their games to get the best out of the wicket.
That is up in the air. Chance for a catch. Susan Akidi, the wicket keeper there for Light Secondary School, making it look very, very easy. She did not even need to move an inch to get that catch. And see Priscilla match off. 2 scalps already in the bag there for late SS. And the bowling change seemed to be working because we saw the opening partnership between Arugo, Joyce Mary, and Alio Rita not getting a wicket. And the first bowling change there, which brought in Tino Sara, got the first wicket. And the second, which brought in the captain herself, Michelle Ariago, has gotten the second wicket for the side.
Good bowling there from Ariago, the captain. Faga guilty of rushing to play a shot and ended up edging to the keeper. Simple catch for the wicket keeper. St. James in all sorts of trouble with the score standing at 14-2 with 1 ball to play in the power play. The new batter on the crease is Oliba Selina.
That is up in
Been told
the air.
she's a big
Chance for
finger
a
of the bat.
And we are yet to fight, Jeff.
If she can push her team and score some runs,
The first shot there from Selina doesn't really depict the big swinger in her. And that will mark the end of the over. That will also mark the end of the power play. Score stands at 14-2 after 6 overs here at Gulu High. Of course, this beautiful tournament is sponsored by Skyview, a product of Harris International. Just a quick update in the UCA Men's Domestic League. At the Center Oval, Rounders Cricket Club is taking on Ceylon Lions. Ceylon has won the toss and elected to bowl first. We saw them scoring the highest score in the Division 1 last Sunday as they scored 290 runs. Then the other game, Abojo versus Jack. Abojo has won the toss and elected to bat first. Tino Sara back in the attack there for late SS from the church end. Was one of the big matches in the weekend, Jeff, in the UCA Men's Domestic League. The runners-up of last year are taking on the champions of last year. That game there between Catch Tigers, the champions of last year. There's a chance to run out, a bit of hesitation, wiping off the bells, looking very, very easy there for Akidi Susan. Off a beautiful throw there by Ariago Michel. Miscommunication between the batters and late Isis has the third wicket. As I was saying, in the domestic league, in the UCA Men's 50 over league, the runners-up of last year, Kachi Tigers, sorry, Wanderers Cricket Club are taking on the champions of last year, Kachi Tigers. Jeff, that should have been a beautiful game. But the fact that Wanderers has no victory yet in this campaign. Jeff, of course, Wanderers having a bad start already. They have only a point that they got in that game, which was washed out, the opening game, as they took on uh, Avengers. But the other games that they have played, they have faced the sword.
Very, very bad start to the season for Wanderers. Runners up from last season, having won the T20 as well. Well, Ivan, I think the issue in their side is they failed to find the perfect starting 11, I should say. So many changes every game week.
But they're not working around with so many players. I just believe they didn't make good signings because the only addition, of course, a significant addition that they have in that team is Ochaya Jaffa. Very, very good with the ball, but run wise, he hasn't surfaced. That is a bit full to the blade. Tino Sara welcoming the new batter. I love the way these girls keep shouting, "Welcome the new batter," and they say she has come to go. The new batter, Lalam Jackie. Very, very good there with her defensive shot.
Good bowling there from Tino shows the experience she has, giving the batter a mixed bag, full balls, flighted balls, the quick one, and that's the end of the over. St. James in lots of trouble. The score still stands at 14 for 3 after 7 overs.
Yeah, that was the first maiden in the game, Jeff. Good work there being done by Tino Sara. In her first over, she gave away 2 runs, and both of them were wides. But this time round, she manages to make her lines more tidy. Ariago comes back. Kasone, there is a bit of hesitation and a miscommunication, but Kasone very, very solid with her no call. to send back Lalam Jackie. With that call there, Jeff, I think one of the things that Coach Kawangu should be looking at is the communication of his batters.
Yes, Ivan. Besides the opening pair, the rest have been guilty of attempting to run where there is no run and not running where the opportunity is.
Good shaping there.
Yes, Stephen.
Well done there. Slow proceedings. That is Api's chance for a catch. Tino Sara makes it look easy. Tino Sara is one of the fielders who are always handy there at covers. She takes that beautiful catch to send back Kasoni. Well done there to the outfit of St. James. Slow proceedings. And that is the fourth wicket. Api's chance for a catch for the side.
Light SS getting into their groove. A wicket each over now brings that to 4 after 7.4 overs. Score is still 14. Well, Ivan, I think this is a disappointment to the St. James dugout.
Well, the replay there coming right on your screens. Tino Sara making that catch look very easy at covers.
That is
Riago Michel and Tino
for a
Sara,
catch.
both of them are experienced campaigners. Not the very first time they are playing in this tournament. And they were actually very vital last year when Olida High School received their upset in the region, falling on the sword of latest, and even in the finals of the Nationals. A deja vu happened, and latest came of ages after 9 consecutive years of Olida winning the trophy. They beat them in the regionals, and after 3 consecutive years at the Nationals, they beat them in the finals. Of course, this year the final went down in the Eastern region, and Olida High School managed to win it. But it will be another good encounter if we see these two outfits meet anywhere, be it in the semifinals or in the other knockouts.
The new batter in is the wicketkeeper Flavia Desire. Perhaps she would be having a desire to push her team to a very good total.
The shaping very good there, Jeff. That off drive looked so nice. But that will mark the end of the over. Second maiden in the game. Previously, we've seen Tino Sara delivering a maiden there. And Ariago was also taking notes. That is the third maiden in the game, by the way, Jeff. Ariaga has foulballed 2 maidens, and Tino Sara has also a maiden. But there is another bowling change there for late aces. Sophia Bogere will come to place Tino Sara from the side of the church. I'm no longer hearing people clapping in the church. Maybe it's time for giving offertory. Starts with 1 to the pads. That is a play to square leg. A bit of hesitation between the batters, but in the end, they managed to scamper for a single.
Ivan, Let me take you back to the last 2 overs. Good work done by the captain Ariago and Tino, bowling 2 wicket maidens to apply the brakes to St. James. Well, St. James were not scoring quickly, but the extras were coming in thick and fast. But those two spinners have done a great job.
This time round, she bowls it quick. The first one was a bit flighted to the pads. Sophia Bogere bowls one quick and she manages to get a dotty ball. Good comeback there from her and good thinking. Another hesitation, wrong end, but there's still chance for a run out. Very easy there. Sophia Bogere completes that run out. But Jeff, I think if the batter at the striker's end had tempted that run with that bit of miscommunication between the fielders, maybe they had a chance of getting that one. Threw it at the striker's end to Akidi Susan. A bit of a fumble. The communication wasn't so good there, but she saw that these two batters were in the crease just close to her. Threw it to the bowler's end, and Sophia Bogere did the rest. A half of the batters for late SS have been sent back to the outfit. The replay there right on your screen, a lot of confusion between another the batters. Hesitation, wrong end, but there's still chance to run out, Jeff, in my opinion.
Yes, Ivan, they could have done better, but kudos to the keeper. She didn't panic, realized the two batters were at her end, and roll the ball back to the ball. I didn't even throw. Roll the ball back to the bowler who completed the run out. Now St. James in a deeper hole. They would have to dig themselves out of. The runs are not coming, but the wickets.
Yeah, of course, the start in the first 4 overs just show everything, but the way the wickets are falling here at Gulu ground is so worrying. Another flighted delivery there, good with hard drive, but just straight to the bowler. Sophia Bogere coming into the attack, and a run out there in her over, but very good with her action. This time round, that's a short ball. Should have been punished, but the batter not showing any interest whatsoever. This is the annual Girls Schools Cricket Week tournament, a tournament sponsored by Skyview. Skyview, a product of Harris International, who are making sure that they grow this beautiful game of cricket, and that will mark the end of the over. Good work there being done by the late SS fielders, making sure that they go through proceedings very quickly. One of the teachers from late SS told me that one of their players, Judith Iro, lost a mom yesterday as they were departing to come for this tournament. May the soul of the deceased rest in eternal peace. And as she goes to mourn, she will join the girls later on as the tournament moves on. But Jeff, there is another bowling change as Joyce Mary Ariago is taken out of the attack. And the change will bring Teddy Anyait from the side of the school. Starts with a full one. Jeff, that should have been punished.
Flighted delivery to start with. But decides not to have a go at it, trying to play herself into the game and play out the overs.
Yeah, but of course, what always happens at times is when the wickets are falling, they kind of bring some fear in these batters, and it reduces on their rate of application. As you see, these batters are now playing with a dead bat, not showing any intent whatsoever. They need to try and fight back and get some runs. The time round, she gets it to the blade, but doesn't patch it away.
Light SS on top of this one. You can see fielders are back into the game. Some energy. And that's the end of the over. Score is 18 for 5 after 10.
Yeah, the runs not coming quick and thick. They needed to try and make sure that they a bit of energy here. But the spin schools are all here in Gulu for this beautiful tournament. Sophia Bogere back for late SS. This time round, that is Apish, but falls short of three fielders. The three fielders are Iago Michel, Ajego Claire, and Tino Sarah at covers. But Sophia Bogere also going through her over very, very quickly. Not giving them any chance. That is hit, but not hit away. Dead bat there from these batters, and bowling Bogere are the applauds from her teammates there. This time round, she connects it to her wickets. Bold wicket there for Sophia Bogere. Late SS all over St. James at the moment. 6th wicket in the game. 18 for 6 is now the score.
From her teammates there.
A foolish delivery there from the bowler, and the batter was not able to get a
This
full
time
blade
round, she connects it to
onto the
her
ball,
wickets.
an under edge onto the stumps, and she has to walk.
Applauds from her teammates.
Yeah, when you look at
there.
that replay there, that ball just hitting her bat and then going to the stumps. Edged
This
and
time
bowled.
round,
I
she
think
connects it to her
the full
wickets.
face of the blade could have maybe given her more life at the crease. But we are just into a postmortem report of the sorts. Olila, I beg your pardon, late secondary school. They are making sure that they do the easy work with a lot of ease.
The new batter in, Mukanzi Patricia, comes in with a score at 15 for 6. A lot has been left to the tail. The batters have not done their job. An edge there, and the beautiful catch taken at point by Michelle.
Mm. Yeah, Michelle Ariago, the captain of the side, just diving forward, putting in the yards and making sure that she takes that beautiful catch. Great, great game awareness, Jeff. The balls that come at point are always spinning, but Michelle Ariago gets it flying in the air to get her side the 7th wicket. Brilliant work, brilliantly done there by Michelle Ariago. This is how you show class. This is how you remind the guys that, hey, I've ever played for the Baby Victoria Pearls. This is how you show your quality. Wickets falling in quick succession for St. James at the moment. The start, very, very promising, but the subsequent bowling changes have caused troubles for the Ginger best school.
Silence in the St. James dugout. Dejected looks all over. At this stage, I don't know what the instructions from the coach and captain could be for the bowlers. Well, I think they should try to play out at least 17 overs. You'd rather play dead than being bowled out. the experience is invaluable. That doesn't take away the great work Light has done. Beautiful catch there taken by Ariago. Realized it was going to drop short of her. Put in a diving effort to take the catch. At this stage, Light will feel like the job is almost done. It's a sort of walk in the park for them.
Very, very well said there, Jeff. Sofia Bogere with 3 wickets in her name there. But a quick update, Wanderers is batting first against Catch Tigers. Wanderers won the toss and took a very bold decision to have the bat first. And Periwa Zombe, former under 19 player there for Uganda, is opening the batting alongside Suleiman Sharif there in Entebbe. We are back for the game. Good work being done by latest. Hey, swings across. He just misses it. The shots being applied now and on. Not very, very proper cricket shots.
Well, Ivan, if you can look at the batter, she's way deep into her crease.
This time round, she plays it late on that occasion. Iracha, Patricia, now in there with Nabagala Sophie. But the over comes to an end. Beautifully bowled there by Sophia Bogere. Maiden over and 2 wickets in it. Good work there from Sophia. That leaves the score at 15 for 7 after 11 overs. And that brings back Teddy Anyait from the side of the school to bowl the 12th over of the match. Bowls her. She goes to drive and she goes late. Drives all wind through her gates and the timber rattles. 9th wicket there for Light SS. Lona Anyait, sorry, Teddy Anyait, starting things there with a wicket for Light Secondary School.
Ivan, at the start of the game, we said St. James conceded defeat, but we didn't think it would be this easy for Light SS. Quicker delivery there from the bowler.
She goes to drive and she goes late. From the side of the school to bowl the 12th over of the match. Bowls her. Goes to drive and she goes late.
Under the leadership of Coach Grace
From the
Mutiagaba,
side of the
who's also
school
the
to bowl
tournament
the 12th
director for
over
this
of the
particular
match.
tournament.
But I think, Jeff, it was a great initiative there by Uganda Cricket Association to try and decentralize
From
this
the
tournament.
side of the
I
school,
remember back in
to
the
bowl the
days,
12th over
we could
of
know
the
that
match.
it's either Chibuli for the boys, maybe
Bowls
later
her.
Marcos, and for the
She
girls,
goes
it
to
was always
drive and she
Gayaza.
goes late.
But making sure the tournament moves around
From the
because
side
last
of
year,
the school,
for the last 2
to bowl
years,
the
we
12th
enjoyed
over
the
of
beautiful
the
city of
match.
Soroti. This year, we are here in Gulu. The
Bowls
boys will
her.
be going to Fort Poto.
She
Of course,
goes to
after being
drive
hosted
and
in
she
Jinja twice. That is good work being done by the association.
Yes, Ivan, good initiative. Hitting so many birds with one stone, getting as many fans for the sport, introducing cricket to new areas, and also it's some sort of sports tourism. We are exploring Uganda, the students moving to different regions. Perhaps they thought they wouldn't have gone to. Kudos to Uganda Cricket and the development team.
Yeah, of course, David Story now there, the development manager, Uganda Cricket Association, with his development officers, of course, doing a lot of good work to make sure that this game grows. With the introduction of hubs, I saw Masindi Secondary School coming to the Nationals for the first time last year, and they made a return this year. Back in the years, we could not experience cricket coming from these regions, but Sacred Hearts at their debut last year, in their maiden appearance, they managed to play up to the semi-finals, falling to Olida during the semi-finals of last year's Nationals. But that is really good work being done by the government side. Of course, Masindi SS also in the north, Gulu coming as hosts. They were the first school to represent Gulu, to represent the Northern Cricket Hub or the Northern region in that cricket week which was played in Soroti in 2023 Gulu High. That one will pass past the wicket keeper. Despite the noise that they make, they've been using that skill of making noise to scare the batters from running. But this time round, the batters very, very aware and they managed to take that by run. And that will mark the end of the over. The 12th over has come to an end. And 16 for 8 is the score. Only one run coming off that over.
Ivan, we shan't stop praising Light SS for the good work they've done. Great showcase of talent and skill, ensuring that their opponents don't run away, setting a manageable total that they would fancy chasing in quick time.
There is a bowling change there for Light SS. Tino Sara coming back into the attack to replace Sofia Bogere from the side of the church. But Jeff, all agree that in a tournament, if you get an underdog, smash them quickly and send a message to your opponents that, guys, hey, look, I have arrived in Gulu. Looks like it's what Late SS is doing at the moment.
Yes, Ivan, message sent. So whoever is watching, we have lots of the schools that were not featuring in the morning games, watching Light SS go about their work. And I'm sure the teams watching know what kind of side they will be facing later on in the tournament. It's in the air for some time, but falls into no man's land.
Yeah, Tino Sara, very, very handy there with her spin. Just knows when to bowl which variation because of her experience. Very, very smooth with the action. Look at that. This time round, she gives her a shorty ball, but it's not hit her way. A hit me ball just driven down to the ground. Late SS will feel that they got it. End of the over. Maiden over there from Tino Sara. 13 overs gone. And only 16 runs are on board for St. James Secondary School.
Well, Ivan, if I was the St. James coach at this point, I would be fairly happy with what's going on. Played half of the overs already, 7 more overs. Not a bad sign against such a quality attack. If your team can bat out the 20 or 15 overs, that's a good sign to you can build on that for the remaining games as the batters get into their groove and score runs.
Another bowling change there as Michelle Ariago replaces Anyait Teddy from the side of the school. Michelle Ariago, Tino Sara, prime bowlers for the outfit. Looks like they want this work to get done in quick time. Some bit of sportsmanship there as Susan Akidi, the wicket keeper for Light Secondary School, is doing some work of helping the batter from St. James Secondary School in organizing her gears. It's after fast, as they say it, but now we are set roll. Michelle Ariago bowls it a bit quick. She tries to go across, but doesn't make contact. One of the teams that I know which is very, very known for making those loud noises on pitch, is the female yellow greens team, that Nigeria team. Every time they try to field, they try to scare you. She hits it down the ground, down to covers. Antino Sarah is there to do the handwork of collecting it up. Ariago Michelle should be playing her last cricket week because she's currently in Form 6 at late SS. And when you're playing it for the last time, you need to give it your all and make sure that maybe you go away with it. We saw the previous captain for for late SS, Patricia Apollot. When I met her last year before the national, she told me that my target is one. I'm in Form 6. I just need to win this trophy before I leave late SS and I leave a legacy. Did it well and accomplished the task. The same round, that one creeps a bit, but it's not worked away.
Yes, Ivan, Ariago would like to sign out on a high. Perhaps also be like, I won the cricket week in my last year at light. Shout for LB, umpire says that it's going down leg.
Slow proceedings here. Another one to the pads, and still the umpire says that is missing stumps. And that marks the end of the 14th over of the game. This leaves the score at 16 for 8. Back-to-back maidens there for late secondary school. No matter the fact that the wickets are not falling, I think one of the positives that St. James should be looking at to achieve in this game is playing out all the overs. Tino Sarah at the back of a maiden will come back into the attack from the side of the church. First ball just close to the stumps. Just passing close to that fourth stump line. Good bowling there from Tino Sarah. Uppish, but falls short of covers. That is worked down backwards of the square, down fine leg. That was a confirmation of Byron's there from the umpire. That was chance of picking up maybe a double. But St. James SS very, very comfortable with that single. But the running there between the wickets, very, very good. She hits it uppish. Chance for a catch. And the catch is taken very, very easy, as I would love to look at it. Another wicket there for late SS, the 9th in the game.
Ivan, a look at the scorecard tells a very disappointing story.
She hits it uppish. Chance for a catch.
Six buys, seven wides, and one leg by.
I think late SS should reflect, and I say we bowled badly. 14 extras from a quality side with quality bowlers. Not really a very good sign. The last batter from the outfit will now make her way to the crease to come and bat for the side. her right away. She's come and she's been given matching orders right away there by Tino Sarah. She will depart without troubling the scorers anyway. A very, very straight ball there from Tino Sarah, straight and full to the stumps. And that will close the first innings.
Ivan, a very disappointing scorecard there from St. James. 17 all out, with 14 of the runs extras bowled by Light SS. But don't take away the shine from the Light SS bowlers. They've done a great job bowling out St. James for 17, leaving their batters with a meager total to chase. 18 runs required to get off the mark for Light SS in this particular tournament.
Good work there for the defending champions, Jeff. Of course, now looking at the halftime, sorry, the first innings analysis. Nothing much talk from the batters apart from the 2 runs of Namata Kevin and a single run from Lalam Jackie. But looking at the bowling stats there, Kinosara picked up 3 wickets, an economy of 0.50. Good work. 2 wickets each there from Michelle Ariago and Sophia Bogere. And Anyait Teddy picked up only a single wicket. This is the annual Girls Schools Cricket Week tournament happening here in Gulu City. First time we are having this tournament being hosted here under the guidance and the organization of the Northerns Cricket Hub. The first innings of the match have come to an end. And from here, the comms books, we will take a short break and we come back after the break.
Those things are for multi-day games or beta games, right? Yeah. But this one is one inning per side. If you end scoring session, it implies like as if I went that same team has the second inning. But now this is a T20, so the game will. Okay.
there, Michelle Ariago. But Susan Akidi, the wicketkeeper batter on the non-strikers end, it's been a seasoned opener for late secondary school. First over, very flighted. She gets down to one knee and punishes it. The fielder there tries to use her leg to stop it. Does it have enough legs? No. But they managed to get a double off that first delivery. The intent there from Michelle Ariago, very, very clear. She needs to put this game to bed as early, as quickly as possible. A good shot of intent there.
Yes. Yes, Ivan. Ariago will try to see this one off quickly. Another flighted delivery, shortish. The batter unable to get it away. Trying to play it between point and cover.
Those balls that are flighted, not very, very easy to hit away. Sacred Heart has put this time around a bit of movement. She hits it straight to the fielder. As I was saying, Sacred Heart in the Northern Region Derby, they are taking on Gulu High School. It's a baptism of fire, 156 for 5 after 19 overs. Is the score there? Sacred Heart batting first. She again turns and plays it backwards of the square, but there is a fielder, and Ariago Michel will just get a single.
Ivan, like we said at the start of the game, such tournaments are important for player growth. And I'm impressed by that fielder at fine leg. First ball was played to her. She tried to stop a ball using her legs and couldn't get any toes to it. So this time round, the ball goes to her and she puts in a diving effort to stop it. Learning from experience, it is.
Good there. She's getting into her game very, very quickly. I'm surprised the levels of awareness from the Ginger SS side are a bit high. Not so many changes as the left-handed batter Susan Akidi ex-guard. But they have two fielders on the leg side. Bit of a slower there. Akidi Susan not really sure of what to do. But in the end, she just blocks it away.
Yes, Ivan, the batters are cautious. You don't know what will come off the surface. Bowler giving it all the flight there is in the world. Batter waiting for it for eternity. And in the end blocks it. Because you don't know what kind of bounce it will give you off such a surface.
Good thinking there from the opening bowler, Lydia Mirembe. Teammates are telling her to make sure that she just bowls it for her to play. Another dead bat there from Susan Akidi. Hit me ball, but she doesn't hit it away eventually. And that will mark the end of the first over. 3 for no loss is the score here at Gulu High School ground. It's the annual Girls Schools Cricket League tournament happening here in the city of Gulu, the city of the elephants. As the locals love saying that Kodi Paliech, welcome to the home of the elephants.
Yes, Ivan. And indeed, the warm welcome we felt here in Gulu. Very hospitable people. Kind and love a chat with the new faces. Wide ball to start off the second over. Taking the total to 5 for light SS.
Yeah, Patricia Iracha is the bowler there bowling the second over of the game. It's just a very, very good hospitable city, Gulu. Not really my first time to come to this city. I'm a globe trotter, as men love calling me. Should be like about the 10th time that I'm coming. Of course, on other occasions I come for students' conferences and the like, but I've been here for cricket on some occasions. Remember last year we had the Northern Invitation Tournament here, and we came for that tournament where the under 17 girls came and featured. Mukono Cricket Community has made 2 tours to this place. But there is a no ball there from Patricia as the ball is pitched outside the playing area. Free hit. Another no ball to keep the free hit live. Her teammates calling her, Patricia, telling her to try and adjust and make her lines a bit tidy because it's becoming costly for the side.
Yes, Ivan. Patricia were struggling to hit the right areas, bowling off the pitch, but finally bowls a legal delivery after 3 attempts.
Also, the fielding net very, very superb there. That was straight to the fielder near the square leg area, but a bit of a fumble. And eventually, Ariago managed to right it to get that run and rotate the strike. Akidi Susan, wicketkeeper batter, will now face. This time round, she swings hard, but doesn't get enough bat onto it.
Yes, Ivan. Good intent there from Susan. Love to see the Sorority batters go hard at this small total to do their net run rate a lot of good.
Yeah, of course, with some rains in Gulu, you need to have your net run rate up because it puts you in a very good position at the end of the standings.
Exactly, Ivan. With some decent sides in the Group A, another no ball called by umpire Biaruhanga Joseph.
Yesterday I was having a chat with one of the coaches from Ugulu City, Coach Ivan Kagoda, told me that when the tournament is about to start, the annual schools cricket week tournament, after teams are raving many come as contenders and they feel they can take the trophy, after the draws, some contenders disappear. And when the games start, other contenders disappear completely. But of course, this is a group where I would actually fancy late aces to top because they really got everything that could do help them to make sure that they get their game to there. The nobles are becoming many. Now the fielder will change the bowling side. Now coming over for the left-handed batter. Akidi Susan, the ball not coming off quick from the surface. The surface is holding it a bit. That's why you see there is a bit of hesitation there, whether to go for it or not from Susan Akidi.
Tricky surface to bat on. And given the flight the bowlers are giving the ball, good shot there from Susan Akidi, driven down to middle for a single.
Yeah, good work there from the batters. I think the surface will play better later. New pitches don't always play well on first matches. So I think that holding bit of it, when Elito Mosan burns that AstroTurf, I think there will be some change. The left-right combination there, giving them a lot of work as they have to make fielding changes every time there's change of guard. Ariago Michelle goes down for it, but doesn't make enough contact. She falls in the process of making that shot. but she's still interested in taking the second run, though Akidi Susan tells her no.
Akidi not ready to risk her wicket in this small chase. Would perhaps want to play out and watch out the game, see her team to victory before she plays her second game later on in the tournament.
But I think Ariago Michelle was coming in danger. If I was Akidi, I had no reason whatsoever of not taking that run. Extras and more extras there. Iracha Patricia struggling to ball good areas. This time round, that's hit. A bit of a leading edge there from the blade of Akidi Susan. And that will mark the end of the over.
9 runs off that over, mostly extras, bowled by Patricia, bringing the total to 13 in 2. At this stage, Light require 5 to win the game.
You could feel that late SS won this game in the first innings, having made light work, having made good things with a lot of ease to try and make sure that they limit St. James to a very meager total. Many schools here named after saints, St. James, St. John, all in this beautiful tournament. Mount St. Henry's, all of them in this one. Third over, another flight, but that will run away and wide from the umpire. Very, very solid with her calls there and very, very confident. Nasuna Witten. The first time she's umpiring in the Nationals, she's ever played for Uganda. She needs all her flowers. Played a lot of cricket with Ginger SS and won some trophies with them. This time round, that is hit straight by Michelle Ariago. Should be a boundary. And yes, 4 runs to put all her flowers. Played a lot of cricket with Ginger SS and won some trophies with them. This time round, that is hit straight by Michelle Ariago. Should be a boundary. And yes,
Secondary School and Good Heart Secondary School. Till then, have a nice day.